Today's guest is someone special. She has helped hundreds of women step into their power. She knows that transformation is not just about what you see in the mirror, okay? It is about how you feel, how you think, and probably most importantly, how you show up for yourself every day. Her name is Ms. Bailey Brown, and you are going to love today's conversation.
And not gonna lie, I have to agree with Ashley and I have to second that because we just had this conversation and everything is ruminating right now in my brain. And I'm just so inspired. Because if you've ever struggled with dieting, body image, or feeling like fitness is just another toxic cycle, again, haven't we all gone through those thought patterns before, right? If you have, this episode is for you. There's this idea that true strength isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and about breaking free from the things that hold us back. And Bailey's helping women do that worldwide every single day. And it's so inspiring to me.
Yes. She is the founder of a global fitness coaching brand dedicated to helping women break free from binge restrict cycles. Again, I'm sure we have all been there, yo-yo dieting and toxic fitness trends. But her journey wasn't just about chasing aesthetics or becoming a bodybuilder. It was about survival, right? In 2021, during one of the darkest times in her life, which we'll hear about a little bit, um, she was living out of a hotel room, battling depression, struggling with an eating disorder. Fitness became her escape, and she found strength in movement when everything else felt like it was falling apart.
And to be honest, Bailey isn't just transforming bodies, although it may seem like it, may sound like it. She's transforming mindsets. And again, that was a really big theme of our conversation today. It was a lot about how it's more mental than physical, but they both coincide together. And so she's helped hundreds of women not only reach their fitness goals, but step into their power. Amen to that. You already know me and Ashley are big advocates for women empowerment. And
Mm-hmm.
again, she's empowering them mentally, emotionally, physically, in every way that, you would need it. And so this episode is about breaking free from restriction, guilt, and self-doubt, and finally building a lifestyle that works for you.
Yeah. So if you are ready to break it down to the base, to redefine what fitness means to you, to tap into your inner strength, to unleash your inner belief in yourself, and to connect your mind, body, soul, to feel good, uh, to not feel like your body is a prison, right? Like prison gates. This episode, it's raw, it's authentic. I know I'm feeling ways after having this conversation with her, and I'm so excited that we get to share this with you guys.
So without further ado, let's get into it. Bailey Brown, welcome to the Embodiment Podcast.
Hello, spiritual bodies, driven entrepreneurs, and everyone in between. Welcome to Embodiment, who you are behind closed doors, the podcast where we explore the truth of who you are beyond the surface.
I'm Emmanuel Series.
And I'm Ashley Fry.
Together, we dive into mindset, self-discovery, and the magic of aligning with your highest self. If you're chasing dreams or leveling up spiritually, this is for you. All right, Bailey Brown, welcome to Embodiment, who you are behind closed doors. We're so grateful to have you on.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I'm excited to learn more about your journey and everything that it's taken to get to where you are now and all the moving parts that come along with it. Um, okay, so can you give me, just because Mano knows you, I don't know you well,
Mhm.
obviously. Can you give me like just a little rundown of like what you're doing right now, what takes up most of your time, what you're passionate about?
Yeah, for sure. So, if you know me in person, like Mano, you know that I always have a million and 10 things going on and I thrive in chaos. I always need to be doing something. I've got a million projects on the go. So, I'm an esthetician, I am a nursing student, I am a fitness coach. Before I was a nursing student, I was a university student in a pre law program. which
Okay.
I'm sure that we'll touch on. Um, but right now, my passion most lies in fitness coaching. That's where I find myself most often.
Hmm.
But kind of on the sidelines, I've got nursing going on to further expand my skills and expertise within being an esthetician.
Okay.
You also
Um,
forgot content queen.
Okay, yes, content queen, and I really do love that you're seeing the hard work I'm putting in because let me tell you, I was not good at it before.
I no, I even I took a peek at your account and it looks amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Content is
Um,
everything.
so in terms of being an esthetician, like what is your main focus? One of my best friends, she's an esthetician, so
Yeah.
she's very much like in she does facials, stuff like that. What is your strong suit there?
Lashing, doing eyelash extensions.
I do lashes.
You do? Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
so you get where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Wanted to expand.
I've been lashing for about 6 years now.
7. So,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. It was it was my focus for about 2.5 years during
Yeah.
COVID, and then I still do it part-time. Like
Mhm.
it's not my main focus, but I feel like once you start lashing, it's something you fall in love with, so it's always gonna be there. Like you can't really unlearn it.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it's not even lashing itself. It's the people that you meet
mm-hmm,
and when you really connect with somebody and you click with somebody and they stay your client for so long, like
mm-hmm,
you watch them grow and it's
mm-hmm.
like having a best friend or like a little
Yeah,
sister,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, Mano Taylor started off as one of my clients, and now she's one of my
You
best
did tell me
friends.
that. And
So
then now she's one
yeah,
of your besties. Yeah.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
when that
Period.
happens.
Sometimes it works that way, and it's amazing.
Okay,
Um,
I'm super curious. Sorry, Ashley.
no, go ahead.
Um, how you got into fitness?
Yeah.
Like, what was
Okay.
that entire journey? Like, how did that become what it is today?
Okay. Yeah, so growing up, my home wasn't your traditional home, okay? It wasn't an absolute safe space, and we'll leave it at that. But I found myself looking for outlets, and where it's so easy to fall into the wrong sort of outlet, whether that be substance abuse or finding yourself in the wrong crowd. I found myself going to what was dance class at the time. I was a dancer for 13 years. And then eventually my parents told me, hey, kid, we can't afford dance classes for you anymore. It's just not happening.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, you got to quit. You got to get a job. And I was like, okay, well, I grew up the thick kid. I can't be the thick kid. And I know that I have to do something about it. So I started going to the gym. And at first, it started out being, okay, well, I'm going to transition from dance to fitness. But then again, like I started using it as an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned more into my escape. I found myself spending like hours there. Like, even if I was just hanging out there socially, it was something for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 19, I had something really traumatic happen to me. And it kind of felt like my world was crashing down. Metaphorically, that house that I had burnt to a crisp. Like, it was gone. I was at my lowest of my lows. I was the most depressed I'd ever been. I went all the way to the point of being pretty much homeless. I was living in a hotel room, and I needed something. I needed to feel something. And so I actually reached out to my first ever, my only ever bodybuilding coach. Um, and I decided that I was going to do a show. I was like, let me, somebody who's never dieted before, somebody who's never trained properly before, I thought, let me just dive right in and go to the extreme because I needed something so bad. It gave me structure. It gave me a place to channel everything that I was feeling. Ultimately, it gave me that sense of control and power in a
Yeah.
situation where there was so much chaos. So, where I say I thrive in chaos, it kind of came from that point when I was 19 and I'm 24 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I believe so strongly in the connection between mental, physical, all of the in between. Fitness isn't just physical, like it's
No.
mental, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it wasn't about looking a certain way, which is what it is typically perceived as from the
Mm-hmm.
outside. It was more so about literal survival.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
how I got into fitness, why I stayed in fitness.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I think the biggest changes and the biggest leaps, call it a quantum leap if you want to, come from us hitting rock bottom, right? Like the
absolutely.
biggest what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Growth.
Yeah.
growth there. I don't know, I have a word in my head and it doesn't want to come out right now. But like I can obviously not to the same capacity, but I can relate to that because the reason that I took on do like taking care of my health and everything. I was a big kid, right? Like I
Mhm.
was always the bigger one out of my friends. My dad used to eat his feelings away and that fell onto me. And then when I was in grade 11, my dad had a heart attack and like everyone else was on spring break and I was like sitting in the hospital with him. And so that was kind of what flipped that for me. I think like those things, they're scary and they're hard and it feels like the world is out to get you, but they
Mhm.
really transform your life, right? And
Absolutely.
so I think it's amazing that you turned something that like metaphorically like burned your house down completely into something that like guides you still to this day.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
like you said, like you find the most growth in the hardest of times
Mhm.
and I tell my clients all the time. I tell them sometimes you are forced to prove how strong you are by
Mhm.
being at your weakest. Like you have to get there
Mhm.
in order to prove how strong you are,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So then when you were in that stage of your life when you were like living out of the hotel and it was that really low point,
Yeah.
how was your mental like how was your mental state and how did you overcome that? Like how what I guess obviously you reached out to your friend who then brought you into this world, but prior to that I'm assuming there was a lot of grief and things going on. How did you help yourself get over that?
Yeah. You know what? I didn't. I was doing all of the wrong things. And I think being able to be open as somebody who's a strong influence in the fitness community and as somebody who should be standing saying, you know, I did this and I did that and this is the solution. Like I was doing everything wrong.
Mhm.
I found myself, it was in the height of COVID too. So I didn't have that outlet that I was used to. I wasn't able to go to the gym or, when I was able to go to the gym, it was in like 45-minute time slots, 60-minute time slots. Um, I had a treadmill in the basement of the house that I was living in before I had gone into a hotel room, and that's when we had those time slots. Um, and I was running for literally 2 hours a day, and I wasn't eating. I wasn't taking care of myself.
Mhm.
Um, so under eating then moved into overeating. And, I went back and forth between symptoms of anorexia and then symptoms of binge eating. And it wasn't until, I had people that were really important to me, like my dad, asking me, hey, I've been at work all day. Like, what did you eat today?
Yeah.
Or I had friends that were like, hey, did you make sure that you ate today? Like, literally checking in on me to do things that I shouldn't even be thought twice about.
Mhm.
Um, we kind of just had a moment where we were like, hey, we really need some help here. And so I'm a huge advocate for therapy. I've been seeing a therapist for 5 years straight. So it wasn't until, yes, it wasn't until,
Yes.
yes, we love therapy. It wasn't until I finally had people that were really important to me asking me hard questions for me to answer.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and so I found a therapist and
Yeah.
then I used my outlets like fitness
Yeah.
and I did my show.
Yeah.
And that's what really made that huge turnaround for me.
Yeah. How long, because it can be really, really difficult to accept those hard questions when they come at
For
you,
sure.
especially when you're in a vulnerable state of mind. Uh, how long do you think it took you from where you feel like you hit rock bottom until you started going and seeking that help? How long do you think that took you?
Um, rock bottom. is a hard point to,
Pinpoint, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It's like a season almost, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I had dealt with mental health struggles since I was like 12 or 13,
Hmm.
right when I started to understand what was going on in that burning house.
Yeah.
Um, but I think my ultimate rock bottom would have been right after I had graduated high school, like
Hmm.
18, between 18 and 20 was a
Hmm.
really difficult time for me.
Yeah.
But all of this very hard time of people asking me hard questions and starting to see like, okay,
Yeah.
something is clearly going on here was within like a 6 month time spirit, like time span.
Yeah.
It was it was quick, and that's why it was so like severe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you
Um,
wish people, sorry,
no, go
Ash,
ahead.
I'm cutting you
No,
off.
no, no, no.
I'm
Go
like
ahead.
jumping on
Go
her.
ahead.
I'm
Don't
like,
worry. No, go.
um, but because eating disorders and mental health plays such a big role in terms of just life, right? And when you go to the gym and when you're doing bodybuilding, that kind of stuff. What do you
Mhm.
wish more people understood about the connection between like mental health and physical health?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Mano. Like before all of that, so I deal with women in specific, right? I've had male clients, but my main audience is women. And before anything, it is so difficult just being a woman,
Hmm.
right? Ashley's like, say it again, say
She's
it
like,
louder for
yup.
those in the back. Yes. Um, and that's at any age. And not only in today's society, right? But in society in general. Like we're
Yeah.
forced to believe that we have a specific value based on how we look, right? And we have to look a certain way and embody a certain character.
Yeah.
Don't do this, it's not ladylike. Make sure that you wear this because you don't want to wear that and be perceived as this.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
make sure that, you look like that Barbie doll that you took care of growing up. Like you have the long hair, the makeup, the body, because that's what's most desirable.
Hmm.
And it's literally, I say it's caused an epidemic. I hope I
Yeah.
can use that word, but it's
Yeah.
caused an epidemic of disordered eating and mental health issues and effects in women around the world. And I was in this position myself, so it's not just a blanket statement either,
Yeah.
because hundreds of women worldwide that I've spoken with have this same reality. So when I discovered this trend, I changed, my coaching from this is something I'm good at. I can probably, make some money with this. It's good while I'm in school to, oh my gosh, I have a real deeply rooted passion
Yeah.
for like knowing that there's this issue. There's a mission now, right? And that's not only to help women reach their physical goals, because that's important,
Hmm.
obviously. Um, but healing at the same time is something that's really important, working from the ground up.
Yeah.
Like a strong body can't really exist without a strong mind. And people think that, well, if I have the body, then I'll have the mind. But the two coexist, Like
Yeah.
one can't exist without the other. Um,
Well,
and yeah,
it
that's
there's also like with okay, so that uh idea of being desirable, but then also throw in like relationships and being like the
yeah.
nurturer, right? Or throw in the fact that we live or our day to day, our 31-day calendar or 30-day calendar is built off of a man's cycle, not a woman's, right? Like women function in 28-day cycles. That's we like us sleeping 7 or 6 to 8 hours, like
Still not enough.
it's
Like,
still not enough for
yeah,
us. Like if you
yeah.
look at the hormones, you look at all of that. So like throw all of that in as well. Like I don't know, I'd say my worst with when I had or we healed our relationship with food, but was
Love to
when I
see it.
was
First of
in
all,
a
round of applause. Love to see
thank you,
that for you.
thank you. Yeah, we're definitely we're stronger mind, stronger body now, but
Yes.
uh that was heavily correlated to like relationship issues for me, right? And
Mhm.
then uh that comes like self-worth and like your friendships and stuff too. So I don't know, when you say like being a woman is hard, oh my God. And we carry so many burdens that we just really don't talk about, and we're just expected. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think building a strong base for yourself with your health will heal and uh almost like I don't know. I don't feel like we're ever gonna be like physically, because of the society we live in and the structure that we live in. I don't know if we'll ever be functioning at the same percentage that men function at every single day, but like it gives us a space to actually kind of flourish in.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
Hey, not much to catch up on. Men, but
I was
women,
gonna I
women
was gonna
move.
say you're talking about this level that they run at and how maybe we're down here. It's not true, girl. We do so much that we
no,
don't
we
see.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
We don't acknowledge
yeah,
and you know that too. Like a lot of people think that we run at this lower level because
yeah,
society has kind of taught us that women are weaker,
yeah,
run like a girl, act like a lady, whatever you want to call it.
yeah,
Um, and it just kind of drives me more,
yeah,
or like should drive you more too, to
yeah,
instill this level of trust within yourself and within other women that, you know, external validation, girl, it's only going to go so far.
mm-hmm,
You need that
mm-hmm,
internal, which is
yeah,
where, again, physical, mental, right? The
yeah,
two work together. That internal is what's going to break that glass ceiling that's
yeah,
holding you back from finally reaching that potential that you have within you. Even if you
yeah,
don't see it, it's there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I work in mindset, right? My dad's a
Mm-hmm.
mindset coach, and then
Love
my
it.
mom is she's a high functioning badass woman in business.
The
And
conversations at your dinner table.
oh god.
Let me sit in. Let me sit in.
It's hard sometimes. It is hard. It's hard to have two like big personalities
Yeah.
being the head of the house. But yeah, that's I don't know, my mom being a woman in business, I think it's similar to just well, being a woman in any field, right? We always have a glass ceiling that's almost like unspoken, that like guys don't think about, they don't deal with, unless they like I don't know, even my dad, even though my parents have been married for 25 plus years, like she'll say stuff sometimes and he just won't get it. He just won't get it. Like there's just that, like you said before, it's like things we don't talk about.
Mm.
It's they're there all the time. And I feel like because of that, and before when I said level, I didn't mean like we are lower. I feel like we almost have to work harder
Yes.
to function at the same capacity in
Yes.
quotations
Yeah.
that um they function at regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Remember though, that ceiling, it's
yeah,
glass. It's
yeah,
breakable,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Well, in
Yeah.
self-belief, belief in anything, belief in good, belief in bad, belief in yourself, belief in like other people, like it's the root of everything, right? Like if you
Yeah.
believe you can do it, you can do that and more.
Yeah. I always, tell people if you have a goal, whatever it is, if it's fitness, if it's work, if it's whatever it is,
Yeah.
you have to see yourself doing it first.
Mhm.
If you don't, like for example, if I have a client that's doing a show,
Yeah.
you are going to bet that that client is going to go to bed at night and
Hmm.
envision themselves doing their posing routine, walking out on the stage
Hmm.
and doing that and then collecting their award after. I'm like,
Yeah.
you have to see your, like, literally envision it.
Yeah, visualization is such an amazing skill. Such an
Yeah,
amazing, and just like anything, this is like my dad works with NHL goalies, right? So one of the things that he says to them is like you have to train your mind just as much as you're training your body. Like it
absolutely.
can't be something you touch on once a month. Like if you want to physically achieve that thing, you also have to spend, even if it's 15 minutes at nighttime, visualizing,
Yeah, like,
but being consistent with it.
hmm
Yeah. No, I like that you said that. I think that's really cool. To just to know that that takes place in um other fields. I don't know. I guess I
yeah,
never thought about that. I never really
yeah.
thought about like bodybuilding and like visualizing that, but it makes sense. You know have you ever watched the Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yes, I have.
documentary?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have. Yes.
that was one thing that he said at the very beginning of it is he said, it's not that I was good at doing this or doing this, but the one thing that I could really do was picture things and
Yes.
visualize things. And that's why he succeeded in every single field that he put himself in.
Hmm.
So, or seeing things clearly.
And
That was what it was.
Yeah.
and you know what? Bailey actually won a championship.
Yes, I want to hear about this.
She
I
won a champion,
did.
and I was like, we need to mention that because again, that is no small feat. Like imagine you go on YouTube or you go wherever you watch the competitions, whatever channel streams them. These these people, they're like superhuman. Like they look
Yeah.
like it is crazy. I'm like, I didn't even know you could put on that much muscle.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Bailey when she was on that stage when she won that award, and I was like, oh my God. Like the amount of discipline and
Yeah.
like consistency that you have to do, it's just what went in
How long
to
was
that.
that program to get you prepared for that?
So that would have been my second year. So
Okay.
my very first show, I did an 11-week prep, which if you know anything about bodybuilding preps, 11 weeks, especially coming off of not doing anything. Like, girl, I was eating like a granola bar and like an iced coffee from Tim's every day, maybe a
Mhm.
muffin. Like,
Yeah.
to go from doing the absolute worst thing for yourself and then go into this hard extreme dieting within 11 weeks. And then I was in classes of like 20 girls, and I think I placed second, and third. And
Hmm.
I'd
That's
never stepped on stage
amazing,
before.
though. That's
And
amazing.
these are girls that have been doing it for so long. So that was my first one. And my coach was like, this kid's got potential,
Hmm.
right? And then so
Hmm.
I went on and I continued, and um I did an off season, and then I think that would have been an 18 or a 20-week dieting phase, which is just getting to like that level of leanness. It's an extreme. You'll never see anybody walk around like that. That prep, funniest story, and I was just telling one of my clients about this. So I won the overall, which was winning the entire show, taking it home as the bikini champion, right? Um, 24 hours earlier, not even, I had my coach in my room and I was bawling my eyes out to him, saying,
Oh my
I'm not
gosh.
ready. I look horrible. I'm going to lose. I'm going to make a joke of myself. Like it's not happening.
Hmm.
And he looked at me and he said, do I look like somebody that likes to lose? I went,
Period.
no, no, sir, you don't. But I also said, like, I don't think I can do it. And he said to me, he was like, I need you to just trust me and trust yourself. Like, you are
Hmm.
going to do just fine.
Yeah.
And I, of course, is in another world. I'm in another,
Yeah. It's hard
yeah.
to hear anything said when
Oh
you're
my
in that
gosh, you
mental
have prep
state. Yeah.
goggles on. Like you don't see yourself for what you are. And now
Yeah.
looking back, I'm like, wow, you were crazy, girl. But anyways,
Yeah.
um, next day, everything went to plan and I took home the overall. I've literally got it like on my desk. Got it.
Yay.
Oh, period. There we go.
My little trophy that I have on my desk to remind me every day why I do what I do. But
What
um,
was what was that competition called?
that was the Berry Natural Championships.
Okay. And so
Yeah,
that where did that take place?
Berry.
Barry. Okay. I thought
Yeah.
so. I just wanted to
Yeah.
confirm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Are
yeah.
there any bodybuilders that like you look up to?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Um, Laura Lee Chapados, she is Miss Bikini Olympia right now.
Okay.
She's a Canadian. She's from Montreal.
Okay.
Um, she's got a story of her own that, I could go on and on and on and on about. But
Yeah.
to keep it very short and sweet, she is an amazing athlete. She's gone
Hmm.
through so much.
Hmm.
Um, I was lucky enough to actually meet her. She has a podcast.
Hmm.
Um, I got to meet her during a live event. I got to train with her out in Miami in
Yeah. Wow.
2023.
That must have been
Um,
so exciting.
oh, it was like imagine your most loved celebrity that you might have just been obsessed with growing up. Okay. Like I was this giant Justin Bieber stan growing
Oh,
up.
girl.
It was like meeting Justin Bieber. Like
Me
it was
too.
crazy. It was crazy for me. But yeah, her, I really admire her. Like she was my lock screen. You know, I
Yeah.
had to visualize it. So
Yeah. Well, that, you know what? I think when something like that happens where you end up in the same room as them or something aligns like that, it's like almost a sign to let you know, like, hey, you are
yeah.
on the right path. You're doing what you need to be doing right now. Like,
Hmm.
just a little word of confirmation from above, right? So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Do you
Mhm.
know
So
any other Canadian bodybuilders? Sorry, Mano, I'm curious
no, no,
now.
you're good.
Yeah, there's honestly there's so many. It's really hard to turn pro in Canada,
Yeah.
especially naturally.
Okay.
There are limited amounts of pro cards that go out. In the States, they have a lot more shows just because there's a lot more
Yeah.
places that it takes place. But you know, Chris Bumstead, I think everybody, whether they're in the bodybuilding community or not, knows who Chris Bumstead is. He's Canadian.
Yeah.
Jennifer Dory,
hmm
just to name a few, like
Yeah.
she was
Okay.
Miss Olympia. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. Sorry, Mano, I know you had a question.
No, no,
Just curious.
I was also just curious because also like again, Bailey is huge into the content world. Like literally she's posting, she's on her content game, she's on the consistent grind with posting content. And so like when you first started, and obviously when you started your fitness journey, there's always like a stigma around posting on social media and putting yourself out there. How was that journey for you, especially in bodybuilding where you're posting your body and you're posting like how was that?
I mean, I'm not posting my bum for everybody to see if that's what we're thinking. Like it's not like that, right? So originally I was okay, let me start from the jump. It was a fitness account that I started in COVID. And if you scroll way to the very bottom, like you are going to see videos of me working out in my basement. Um, it was just something that, you know, I could hold myself accountable with. And then when I started doing my preps, I started just posting and it was, you know, it was ego. It was ego posts is exactly
hmm
what it was.
hmm
And then when I got into coaching, my coach, who is also my mentor, we were in a mentorship meeting and he goes, what are you doing? Like, why are you stop posting pictures of yourself and putting like work hard, play harder, like, and then like a couple hashtags of like gym girl. Like, he's like, you need to take this seriously. Like, do what you have to do to make this a
Yeah.
business. Like, people don't trust you if you're just posting ego wise. Like, it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Um, the most important part that I've learned about content creation is it's not about the fancy camera, the trends you follow, engagement, but it's the truth behind it, right?
hmm
Um, and when I post, I'm thinking about who I'm posting to. I'm not
Yeah.
posting for everybody because if you look at um my engagement, it's like 90% women and that's exactly how I want it.
Yeah.
Um like I'm posting for my ideal client. So I'm speaking to them in my posts. I'm not just jumping on some trend that I saw an influencer do and speaking to everybody. Because if I'm speaking to everybody, I'm speaking to nobody, right?
Yeah.
Um, Nobody is in a position where like they always need a coach, right?
Yeah.
They may not want advice, they may have their own thing going, and they might just be happy to watch my content. But somebody who's the opposite that may be really struggling, you know,
hmm
and really feeling lost or feeling like they don't even know where to start. It's super overwhelming out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's who I'm speaking to. And that's who comes to me, whether, because I never chase people. People will either DM me or they can fill out an application form, link in my bio. um, but like they'll come to me, and I know that the only reason that they're coming to me is because I've already spoken to them just through my
Yeah.
content, right?
Yeah.
I like to say, I say this all the time to Ashley. I say each piece of content is like a separate salesperson. Every time you post something, it is a salesperson that is selling you every
Yeah.
single time. And I think that you hit the nail on the head by saying that, you know, you are specifically targeting one persona, and that is your target persona, and that's who you're going for, because then you're speaking to someone versus like, you know, instead of no one. Because what
Yeah.
people don't understand about marketing is everyone just thinks marketing is, you know, like just getting your name out there, like whatever name. But marketing is all about alignment. right? It's
Mm-hmm.
about
Yes.
aligning yourself to the people, the user, the target persona's needs.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it's so nice to hear you saying that because I'm like, you got it. And that's why you're at the place where you are today, because you've been able to exemplify that within your entire brand and your entire persona, where you are now going after that exact person that needs you and you're
Mhm.
fulfilling that value gap that they have.
100%.
Well, sorry. No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, like the thing is like, okay, sure, maybe you make a couple videos that go viral. Maybe they
Yeah.
even have millions of views. Okay, what does your conversion rate look like?
Yeah.
What
The
does your
rest is
sales
the
funnel look like? Where is everybody? Where are people getting stuck in this? Because a sales funnel isn't just like somebody DMs me, I say this is how much it costs, and they send me money. It's not, that's not how it works. There's
yeah.
an entire process that goes along with it, right? So people will get stuck, and you'll see like there's a pattern of people that get stuck somewhere, and you know that that's where you have to work. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you're just posting general content, you're not getting people past square one. Like
No.
maybe they'll inquire, but then you send them a message back or try to book a call with them and nobody's getting on the phone with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and
Yeah,
going back to kind of ties into this, but going back to like getting started and actually posting that stuff, something that Mel Robbins said is like, you're not
my girl.
posting your social media for your friends, right? Like,
No,
you're posting for the people out there who are trying to find you and just haven't found you yet.
100%. Oh,
So,
and people always say to me like, that's a little cringy, don't you think? Or I would never post that. Or, like they make comments like that. And I'm like, I'm probably in some group chat somewhere, but you know what?
it doesn't matter. Who
Doesn't
cares?
matter to
Engagement,
Who
me.
cares?
engagement.
Who
Send it.
cares?
That's what it is.
Send, share, and save. Like, no,
Yeah.
like I don't care. What? You don't like the content that I post? I'm sure that if I went
Unfollow
into
me. Like it
just keep
doesn't
your follow,
matter.
keep your follow.
But
But
like it, like that person will be like at the end of the day replaced with somebody who wants to see
oh,
what you're doing.
again,
So
I'm not speaking to you.
yeah.
That's it at the end of the day. I'm speaking to the people that I want, to come into my funnel and make their way towards me.
Yeah.
Did you find
100%.
did you find when you started your content journey that some of your closest friends would not engage with any of your content?
Mano.
What? I'm just
No,
asking.
he's on a
No,
little
I
bit.
know. I
No,
know. I
He's
know
on
he's
a
I'm
on
just
one.
revenge
He's
I'm
trial
just
on
right now.
asking. I'm just
he's on one right
asking.
now.
Like, how
Yes.
did you go about that?
Cut
How
that
how
out.
did you
No, we're leaving it. We're leaving it. It's raw. It's authentic. It's okay. It's
Oh
okay.
my God.
It's not the first
me
time he's
Um,
done
crying?
it. It's okay.
Oh
They
my
don't
God, I
they
have.
don't they don't listen anyways. It doesn't matter.
they don't watch our
They don't
shares.
they don't care to listen.
They won't see
No,
it.
it doesn't matter. They won't see
Um,
it.
yes. Um, no,
Oh,
you will know. You will know who supports you and who doesn't. And it is so, when it comes to business, like, I don't know if it's because people become envious or if it's because, no, I know it is because people become envious, but it's like, dude, it's free. I'm not asking
it's
you to sign up. I'm
there's
asking you to just share something.
there's a
Or,
quote, and I don't know exactly how it goes, but it's something along the lines of like strangers will always support you because they don't know where you came from, and the people where you came from won't support you because they're still there. Something along those lines.
ooh, ooh, that
Maybe
one.
not exactly word for word that, but something along those lines. And like in business, in like health trials, stuff like that,
Yeah.
when you go through that, like it shows you who truly gives a fuck.
Oh, you 100% see like who actually cares and who doesn't. And if anything, it does you the service itself by, showing you who's really there and who's not. And I mean, like it sounds so silly to say that that's what's going to show me is like they're not sharing something. And it's not that. It goes much, much, much deeper than that. That's just like surface level. If
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you're gonna go ahead and post when we go out for dinner and drinks, or if you're gonna post, repost some meme that you saw, but you can't support my business
Yeah.
and I'm supposed to be somebody you love and care about.
Yeah. My
Crazy to me.
my
Crazy
mom
work.
used to always tell me, like, if your friends and family won't pay for whatever it is, then who will, right? Like
Hmm.
the real ones will.
Yeah.
And if they support you, then they're supporting you till the end. But no, and I think when it comes to like the social media engagement, the commenting, the sharing, like that's just a small part of it.
Hmm.
But if you really support someone, it takes 2 seconds. It takes two
100%.
seconds to engage, to comment, to post. Why wouldn't you? Right? Like, why wouldn't you? Mano and I, whenever we post anything, we hop onto another one of our accounts and we send it to each other. So then they,
Yeah.
like, they at least know that it was
Yeah.
posted and it's there. But like we never, neither of us miss a beat in when something's posted to go and at least like comment, maybe send it to a couple of people, right? Because that's the bare minimum, right?
It is. It is. And it's not like it's not like you're not coming across it. Like you
Yeah.
follow the page.
Yeah.
Or I might have reached out to you in our
Yeah.
own group chat and I might have said, "Hey guys, please go engage with this."
Yeah.
And you'll
Yeah.
see like did they hop on or did they not? And like they can't say that they weren't aware.
Yeah.
No, they got the
Yeah.
notification. They saw it said right front and center.
Yeah.
This is
It
what's
did.
happening.
I said, "Please go."
Please
I
go.
yeah, I think no, I think it's the little things. I really think it's the little things. And
Mhm.
it's super important, I think, as we grow and expand and put ourselves in bigger spaces to really nurture those friendships that are there. And if they're not nurturing us back, then on to the next.
And you
On
know
to the
what,
next.
Ash? Like we outgrow things in life in every capacity,
Yeah.
right? Like starting when we were babies, like we outgrew clothes we were in,
Yeah.
right? We outgrew the fussy whining sessions. Like
Yeah.
and you see like, I'm sure that you can, I mean, if you're lucky, count one person from elementary school you're still friends with.
Yeah. I got one. That's
Yeah.
it.
See?
High school, one, two.
See? And think about how many people you came across during that time. Like,
Yeah.
what is that percentage wise,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's so slim. And the same thing happens in adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like, I treat my friendships like I treat my romantic relationships.
Oh, 100%, girl.
Just as important. It's actually
More
more
important. Yeah.
important because
Yeah.
these people are going to be there for you no matter what.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, like, it's totally normal to outgrow people and to outgrow things, and maybe you have different likes and tastes for certain other things, and that's
Well,
fine.
and I love to say everything's seasonal, right? Because
Yeah.
everything changes all the time. And like, I think if we get to experience someone for a season, great, amazing. If we could learn something from them, great, amazing. If we didn't, it was just memories, great, amazing. But oh my God, I had another thought that I was gonna spit out and I just blanked. Um, Seasonal friends. Man, oh.
Reason,
See,
season. There's a season. There's a
yeah,
reason.
Where did it
a reason
go?
for a season.
It just no, yeah. Well, that's another thing is they're
Oh,
either a friend for a season or a
yeah,
reason. Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah,
No.
Hmm.
yeah.
No, you're
I like to
right.
think, I like to think of myself as a rocket ship because
The propellers
I
are
do not
coming
know
off.
where that
because
came from.
taken. At some point to get out of the atmosphere, a rocket ship has to drop its propellers, and sometimes you have to
Okay.
drop that excess weight to go into space. And so I
Yeah.
think of it that way because I'm like, I'm already going up. It's either, like I'm gonna have to drop the dead weight.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say now. You just reminded me. Okay,
Period.
thank you.
And that's what it's for.
Um, yeah, okay. We meet people where we're at, right? And where
Yes.
they're at. And if one person is growing and one person is evolving, and the other person is maybe more stagnant or just doesn't want to. Like sometimes people just don't want to, right? Like some people
Yeah.
love their comfort zone. People are happy where they're at. And it can, I think one of the biggest things we have to realize as we get older is like Not everybody is permanent. Not everybody is growing at the same capacity. Like, you maybe have stepped into rooms that you couldn't have imagined 5 years ago. And because you were friends with those people 5 years ago, they also can't see that, right? Like, sometimes we're tied to little things like that.
Mhm. And the thing in that is a lot of people like to hold on to friendships, relationships, people in their lives, um, because they feel like they have to.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to. And when you say walking into a room, it reminds me of this quote, and I think, obviously you're gonna know it, is if you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong
Wrong room.
room.
Yep.
You are in the wrong room. You need to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Go and be the dumbest person in the room. Ask a million questions, be the annoying person that needs to know everything, gain as much as you can, and then
Yeah.
continue to level up with
Yeah.
given respect. But, like, don't anchor yourself on to things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. You just reminded me of something else too.
We're all just like reminders back and
See,
forth.
Yeah, yeah.
it's coming so
Analogy.
naturally. Um, but okay, yeah. When it comes to like anchoring yourself onto things, never like anchor yourself onto like a profession or like a person or anything. Anchor yourself onto like a passion or a vision, because no matter what, there's room for it to evolve and
100%.
transform, and things come and go, people come and go, but
Well,
as
like
long
I
as you
said,
keep that. Yeah.
if you spoke to me 5 years ago, like I originally went to university. I went thinking I'm going to go and be a lawyer. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to be a corporate lawyer, and I've got to go do this first degree, and then I'm going to go law school.
Mm-hmm.
I did the first degree. But in second year I decided, I was like, okay, legal studies, I'm not loving it. I
Yeah.
told my dad I wanted to drop out. He said, "Oh, you're halfway through. You're gonna get the piece of paper just so that you have a fallback. After
Mm-hmm.
that, you can do whatever you want, but
Yeah.
have the piece of paper." So I picked up psychology, and I was like, okay, I really like knowing how the brain works, how
Mm-hmm.
people work, why people are the way they are. And I think, that's obviously helped me a lot with what I do now.
Yeah.
Um, but that degree, like, I'm looking at it right now, it's just collecting dust. Like, it is
Yeah.
collecting dust. So
Yeah.
when you say like people can change and grow and evolve, and you know you might be so shocked when you see the rooms that you step into now, like I never thought 5 years ago that this is where I'd be right now. And 5 years ago, Bailey would be judging current Bailey, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing her, just
Mm-hmm.
knowing, this is where she's at. If I knew
Yeah.
nothing about it, like I would be so stingy.
Yeah.
I'm a completely different person.
Yeah.
But yeah, things change. People change, plans change. And at the end of the day, my favorite, favorite, favorite thing to say is everything's going to be okay. And you're going to wake up tomorrow.
Yeah. The
And it's going
world
to be a new
the
day.
world keeps spinning.
Keep spinning it. Doesn't wait for you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I I hate to bring up Candace Owens,
Oh,
but one thing she
Come on,
said,
get it out. Get it
one
out.
one thing she said that stuck with me, and it can be hard to hear sometimes, but at the end of the day, like, again, things are always moving, things are always changing. But what she said one time, she was like, "Life is hard. Put your helmet on." Like,
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about
yeah,
too.
but
Yeah.
like that stuck with me, and it's so
It's
true. Like, when I catch myself in like a blimp of like, okay, what the fuck is happening? I don't know what to do next. Those are usually like the moments when you're about to have the biggest breakthroughs.
100%.
And it can feel insane, but it's one of those, you put your helmet on and keep fucking moving forward,
Mhm.
right? Like,
I grew up, my dad told me, when I'm having moments where I'm really upset about something, I feel like the world is crashing, my house is on fire, everything's
mhm,
burning. Um, and like I said, my house was burning, and it
mhm,
was him and I like this. He said to me, from a young age, you got to have your moment, and then you got to pick yourself back up
mhm,
and keep going, because
yeah,
sitting in it, like it's like sitting in shit. Like you're not gonna sit there and just sit in that. You're
yeah,
gonna get up and you're gonna go do something about it.
Yeah.
But the longer you sit, the worse it gets.
My dad,
Like,
my dad likes to tell this story to his goalies, and I cringe every time. Every time. Okay. So, like, one of the hardest things as a goaltender in hockey or in any sport is when you get scored on, right? And then having to like come up with the saves following that and like letting go of it. And so,
mhm.
Mano, I don't know if you've heard this story, but throughout our whole summer tour, this was one that he told every single time. And every time I heard it, I went, I don't want to hear this again. But he's like, imagine this. Imagine you're at your coach's house for dinner. You go to the bathroom.
Oh, he did tell me this.
He goes, you go poop. You go to flush the toilet. It doesn't flush. Okay. You walk back to the dinner table. You forgot to close the door. You're sitting at the dinner table. What's going to happen
Oh
in a couple of
no.
minutes? It's going to
No.
start to stink. It's going to start to smell. If you don't go and deal with it, like have your poop, flush it, right? Then it's going to stink up the rest of everything else. You don't want to let that, yeah, oh my God, I can't believe that I just told that story.
No, but you know what? It's a really good visual because, you know,
It's a
it can
great
be
visual.
applied it can be applied to everything though. And
It
like
can. Yeah.
once you start to think that way, oh my gosh, your life changes. You just think, like I might be going through it, but I'm not hooked up to, oxygen in a hospital bed. Like I'm just
Yeah.
having a really crummy day. Like
Yeah.
I'm having a crappy day, and that's fine. I'm gonna take care of myself the rest of the night, or maybe I'll just sob around the rest of the night, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Throw away the day, and guess what? You get a new card tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily enough, you get a new card tomorrow, but you
Yeah.
won't be able to say that one day. You won't be able to say, okay, well, tomorrow's a new day. I get a new card
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
So the sooner that you can tap into understanding what you have around you and be grateful for what you have around you and
Mm-hmm.
realize and actualize what you have done and accomplished, like
Mm-hmm.
you're only going to grow from that point forward.
Yeah. Girl, have you ever thought of being an author? I want to write a book with you.
I
Yeah,
would
right?
love to. Oh
I'm
my
ready to
gosh.
go right now.
Mel Robbins 2.0 and
Yeah.
3.0. Like,
Have you ever read the book What Happened to You by Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Bruce D. Perry?
no, I
I
have
think
not.
I think just based on our conversation, I always tell everyone to read this book, but
She does.
I think you would thoroughly enjoy the book. It's very
Mm.
conversational and it's very like you mentioned psychology before, and like that was the kind of book that got me into thinking about that stuff. And I feel like I psychoanalyze people sometimes, but
You know what? Yeah, it's really easy to do so if that's something that you like consistently do.
yeah,
Because I have an affinity for knowing like why. Why are you the way that you are? And it's not even a
I'm the
question of
same.
tell me why, but it's like I want to understand you and I
Yeah.
want to be able to almost indirectly help.
Hmm. Hmm.
Even though it's
Yeah.
not always possible.
Yeah.
But I think that there is nothing that feels better than feeling seen. Yeah, there is nothing that feels better than feeling seen. And
Yes.
if you can see somebody, even by like a small like compliment in a day, like, I don't know, you definitely know Leo Skeppy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
was listening to him yesterday on my walk.
Oh, that sounded
That
like
man.
him.
Yes.
I love him.
I was listening to him and he said that he was talking about making people feel seen and he was friends with this employee that was a manager at a luxury store that he likes to shop at and it was her last day and instead of, taking like an easy breezy day as her last day, she was just making sure that everybody was taken care of for when she leaves.
Hmm.
And he went in and he pulled her aside and he said, "Hey, I want you to just take a breath. Like, how are you doing? Because I see what you're doing." And she was like
Bald.
a breath of fresh air. Like,
Oh,
she was
okay.
like, oh my gosh. Well, I thought that she was going to bawl her eyes out,
Yeah.
and I would love to say that that's what happened because the emotion is like,
Yeah.
but no, she was like, thank you. Like,
Yeah.
and I know that exact feeling
Oh,
because like
yeah.
I said, like I love to be go, 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 go.
Hmm.
Things are always going. And when somebody like says like, hey, you're doing a lot. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
doing a lot and I'm doing enough,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Keyword enough.
posted,
You
yeah.
you are enough.
I
You are
am
enough.
enough. Um,
Okay, Barbie.
ugh. Yeah, I was just thinking about your hoodie. No, I posted something yesterday, and it was about feeling seen. Like the most heartwarming feeling
Oh,
is feeling seen and feeling acknowledged. And
mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
sometimes people know, sometimes nobody knows how to do it. And I
Yeah.
think it's just when you know when you're feeling it. But
Mhm.
okay, I wanted to shift the question to becoming a coach. What has been the most transformative thing for you, or even like the most rewarding transformation with entering that part of life?
So I specialize a lot in women that struggle with their relationship with food. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when a woman comes to me, 90% of them,
Yeah.
when they come to me, they are like, I see me. I see me when I was in my lowest state. Um, like the little 19-year-old. Like I just want to hug them, you
Yeah.
know? Um, whether it's, I don't want to look at myself anymore. I don't go out anymore.
Yeah.
I don't get in pictures.
Yeah.
Um, I can't choose outfits. The best way to describe it is these women tell me that they feel like prisoners in their own body, and then they don't know what to do about it, and they feel like they've exhausted all options. Okay, like they've done the intense cardio, they've done the
Yeah.
intense dieting, they've cut all their carbs. They're miserable at this point.
Yeah.
And first of all, it it takes um such a big step and amount of like courage to come forward and say, "Hey, please help me." So
Mm-hmm.
from that point forward, I'm like, I'm not just trying to be like, okay, I'm going to make this person my client. This is my job. This is a sit. Like, no, not.
Mm-hmm.
I would do this stuff for free. If
Yeah.
if the economy wasn't the economy and I was rich in another life, like I would do this stuff for free
Yeah.
because the number one fulfilling thing that comes from my job is seeing them go from this frail, brittle state to literally becoming s- like like steel.
Yeah.
Like they are invincible. You
Yeah.
can't break them.
Yeah.
Um and sometimes it's a very quick transformation. Sometimes it's something that takes a while.
Yeah.
But every single week, twice a week, I have my girls check in with me and they fill out this form, right? And the questions they're basic questions that give me just biofeedback. But
Mm-hmm.
then I have more mental questions on like, how do you feel this week? How do you feel in your clothes? Are you noticing any differences? I also give them space to kind of, this is a safe space. Tell me whatever you want to tell me
I
that
like that.
that went on
Wow.
this week.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
maybe they'll tell me about a hard week they're having, or they'll tell me about an amazing win that they're having. And I can tell you 90% of the time, I'm getting amazing wins that are coming in those spaces.
Yeah.
Um, Not to say that the bad stuff that comes along with it isn't welcomed. It absolutely is, because now you're taking that step to evaluate it, share it with me, and
Mhm.
work together with me in
Yeah.
order for next week you to come with a win. Or
Mhm.
in a couple days from now to come with a win. But seeing like this progression week after week or days after days, because again, it's twice a week,
Mhm.
seeing that within itself, like, I don't care about the physical transformation. You could have, gone backwards for all
Mhm.
I care physically.
Yeah.
But if you mentally are feeling like brand spanking new, or you're
Mhm.
telling me like, Bailey, I bawled my eyes out because I was in a change room and I didn't have crippling anxiety over me and I didn't go home right
Mhm.
after I was in that change room. Or Bailey, I haven't binge ate in 2 weeks and I haven't even had the desire to. Or
Mhm.
a lot of my clients, I'm reconnecting with my mom. Like I'm getting closer to my parents. I'm not isolating myself anymore.
Yeah.
Seeing that mental transformation is Oh, like literal chills through my body. Like I
Same,
could tear up from it. And like,
same.
some of my clients, they get video feedback or audio feedback. Um, and when I do that, it's typically because I'm like, I can't put this in a text to get it back
Yeah,
to you ASAP. You're gonna have to wait a little bit till I'm home at my laptop, but I promise you, I have the check-in feedback of the century coming back to you. I'll be bawling talking to these girls, and I'm like, I'm
yeah,
so proud of you
yeah.
because, yeah, like just seeing them change and go from, again, just like this brittle little thing to taking
I
up space.
Yeah, I think it's um I'm getting emotional listening to you talk about
Yeah,
that because
like,
I can relate to it, right? Like
oh.
I don't know if you get your Snapchat memories from like 5 years ago,
Oh my
but
gosh, I do.
I get them. And like even right now, at this point, 3 years ago, I had just moved back to Toronto. I just gotten myself out of my 3 year long toxic relationship. I have always sat at like maybe 140 pounds, right? Like 130, 140 since I was like grade seven ish.
Mhm.
Um, I was like 105 pounds. And like before, maybe the year before this, I was like yoked. I had like all my muscle on me. I was lean. I was like probably the healthiest I had been in a long time before that. And then like by the time that I had moved back here, like I could show you photos and you'd be like, who the fuck is that? And like
Mhm.
there's just this like layer of sadness and like almost like hopelessness that comes along with it. And
Yeah.
once you make that, it's like a big jump. Once you make that big jump all the way up, like there's no necessarily like going back. Obviously there's always going to be a little bit of going backwards in order to make bigger steps forwards, but like the fact that you're there to support and to help like guide that big jump, I think is so amazing.
Mm.
And
Mm.
it's probably like so fulfilling for you like to be a part of those journeys, right? Like I was
No.
alone when I did that, right? Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you probably like had support, but you probably guided yourself through most of that too.
yeah.
So
Like if my job was strictly just physical transformations,
yeah,
I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
because that's not where like my passion lies in it. It lies in mental transformations more than
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Yeah,
And that's not to say that like we don't make physical transformations.
it comes
They
with it.
do.
Yeah.
The both, like I said, they go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
But like to take somebody from this low, low, low point
Mm-hmm.
and help, like, because I'm not doing it. I like to tell my clients, I give you the roadmap, right?
Mm-hmm.
I give you the roadmap, I give you the directions, you drive the car.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get to their destination, I always tell them, I'm like, thank you so much for trusting me. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if that always really reaches through to everybody that
All
I
the
say
time.
that to,
Yeah.
or if they think that it's something I just say, but it's literally like, thank you so much for trusting me
Mm-hmm.
when you didn't even trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like you didn't even trust yourself, but you put your trust in me. You took what I told you and you created this beast out
Mm-hmm.
of it, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, you were down at this unhealthy weight.
Yeah.
And I work with girls that they're at that point too. Like I work with girls on all ends of the spectrum, at their
Yeah.
heaviest, at their lowest,
Yeah.
and they all want to reach that perfect destination. I mean, there is none. The perfect destination is where you're happiest.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just being happy,
it's
mentally
just being happy.
being, yeah, and not fixating on the things that you can't necessarily control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard when somebody says, "Okay, we gotta eat more." And
Mm-hmm.
you're like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Like there's a lot of like, okay, I'm really trusting you here, or we'll get on the phone and I'll talk to these girls. I'll book up like 30 minutes, but then we're talking for like 2 hours and I'm like, okay, like, do you feel okay now? Are you sure? Like,
Mm-hmm.
are you sure you're okay to go? Like, because, I care for these girls like they're my like sisters.
Yeah.
I see them. again,
Yeah.
like I said, there's so much power in being seen.
No, I think that's so
You
important.
even you even posted on your story the other day about a girl who called you when she was in need of you. And like the
Yeah.
fact that she posted it and was like, I am so grateful for Bailey. It
Yeah.
Mhm.
just goes to show like how connected you are with all of your clients. And
Mhm.
well, I mean at this point, like, they're like a team, they're like a family. Like it's like you've integrated
Oh,
them so deeply.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, she reached out to me, and I mean, people do all the time, right? Like, and the fact that you even reach out to me, like I was having a conversation with her today, and I was like, thank you for reaching out to me because you know that I understand, like, literally everything. I understand, the position you're in, but I also understand like how your body works and everything like that, like
Yeah.
scientifically.
Yeah.
Um, but she reached out to me, putting her trust in me to help guide her. She sent me a photo and she was bawling the other day. She's like, I'm just so tired. And you know what? She has been putting in the work like crazy. This girl, like nobody works harder than her. She's 5 weeks out from a show.
Hmm.
She's in the thick of it, but she's almost there.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, she sent me a message and I didn't even text her back. I just called her. And she was like,
Yeah.
"Hello." And I was like, "What's going on, baby girl? What's happening?"
Yeah.
And yeah, like anytime, like you can call me at 2 in the morning, I'm picking up that phone
Yeah.
because you need
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
think what you said before, the you don't do it for the money, you do it because you love doing it. I think that truly
100%.
shows that what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing, right? Like
Thank you.
it's your purpose, and I love that. I love that you're in and you found that and you get to
Oh,
do
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that, eh, I didn't choose to be a lawyer.
that.
Because I could not sit at a desk with paperwork all day long. I'm like, give me me and my girls.
Yeah. Question. So for anybody listening who wants to find you, who wants to talk to Bailey, where are you located, first of all, and then where can they find you online?
Okay, so I don't do in-person one-on-one. I
Okay.
might start doing that for
Okay,
training,
you're
but I'm
just
in Durham
online?
region. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in Durham region, GTA area.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of online, all my coaching is online. Every
Love it.
transformation has been completely online. I've got girls in different time zones, like in Australia. Like one of my girls is sleeping right now. She's gonna send
Yeah.
me your check-in tonight at 10 p.m. when I go to bed. She's
Yeah.
gonna be waking up. Um, all of my girls have been completely online. So that is on my Instagram. You can find me. You can also find my coaching link on there. It's at
Mhm.
Bale Brown Fit.
Mhm.
My YouTube is Bale Brown Fit. My
Mhm.
TikTok is Bale Brown Fit. Everywhere that you can think
Okay.
of finding me is Bale
Bill
Brown Fit.
Brown. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Mano, do you want to ask our closeout question?
Yes, our final question, this is the one that all of our guests get. But what
Mhm.
does embodiment mean to you?
Really good question, Mano. Um, embodiment to me means doing it with everything that you have. Like really stepping into whatever you want to do with everything that you've got. If you want to do something, you have to live, sleep, eat, breathe it if you
Hmm.
want to do it right. And I
Yeah.
promise you, like, you will get it if you just put your all into it. Leave nothing
Hmm.
behind
Yeah.
because if you leave something behind, you're going to regret it.
Yeah.
Um, whether that's physically, emotionally, spiritually, like we said, seeing yourself there, visualizing yourself there, embodying whatever you want to do,
Hmm.
becoming it. That's the only way that you're going to get there is
Yeah.
through embodiment.
I really like that. My favorite part about asking that question is we always get a different answer, but
Always, yeah.
it's always something that like adds value. Like
Mhm.
I totally agree with what you said. And
Thank you.
yeah.
And
Thank you
again,
for Oh, go ahead. No, so
we
Anno,
were gonna say
talk.
the
Your
same
turn to
thing.
talk.
We
Go.
were gonna say the same thing. I
Go.
was gonna say thank you so much for coming on, spending an hour with us
Yeah.
and diving deep into your journey because again, I feel like this is so empowering and this is so inspiring to everyone listening and even any women who are listening, right? Who are in
Mhm.
that state that you were talking about prior, right? Like maybe they didn't think they had hope and now listening to you gave them that hope that they needed and that's such a gift.
Mm.
And so we're so grateful and we're so thankful that you were able to come on and share that with us.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I was really excited to be here, and when you guys reached out, I was like, "Oh my gosh, okay!" Like I fangirled a little bit. So yeah, no, I'm really glad that we got to talk, and hearing more about you guys, and watching your podcast from, I know you guys just did a rebrand. I love to see it.
Thank you. We
Um,
actually have to do a little bit more, but
Oh, okay. There's more coming.
we've hit
Everybody
a
watching,
we've hit a
keep
bump in the
watching.
road.
Stay tuned. Yeah, no, yeah, thank you so much for having me on, and allowing me to share that stuff with you guys, and sharing some things with me too. So I was able to learn as well.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of Embodiment, Who You Are Behind Closed Doors. If you ever have any questions, leave a comment, send us a DM at embodiment.pod on Instagram.
Or click the link in our bio to join our community. We are so grateful for you guys and the growth that we get to experience with you. I am so proud of you.
No, I'm proud of you.
No, I am.
No, me.
I said it first.
No.
No.